Hey, greetings, logic students. How's it going? Wow, haven't seen you guys in a while. Probably going to do a Zoom meeting possibly next week. But let's get grooving. Haven't done a video for a while. Man, it's so gorgeous outside. Oh, get out and play. But remember, take this virus seriously. It's a big deal. So it's a lot more contagious than I think people thought. So again, take it seriously. Keep your social distancing. I'm dying in here on my crutches. I'm at the odd angle here because I have my leg propped up. So and just the workspace here is kind of awkward with computers and books and everything. So that's the odd angle. It's just, anyways. Also, another student asked me, like, why am I not wearing my glasses? Well, I don't need them to see far. I can see just fine close, and as long as I'm not focusing on far distance, I'm not pulling and sort of to give my migraine. So if I'm focusing on close, which I am in this situation, I don't need them as much. So the other day I had this out, and I can't believe I switched a Q here and a P here. So I have little arrows here. Make sure if you're using something, if it's not in the book, well, it is in the book, but if it's not, your book's open, okay, make sure that you copy it accurately, unlike me. Please make sure you copy it accurately. It makes a huge difference. I was working one like, and then I realized, oh yeah, I switched that. So we're going to get grooving, and so here we go. All right, let me pause. Okay, so we are developing formal proofs today. And it's a good idea to go, what in the world is a proof? Okay, so I'm going to read the formal definition. A way of deducing the given conclusion from the premises. Okay, does this by working with the premises already given by using the rules of inference. So basically, we are given the premises, and again, we're trying to determine, does this follow? We're trying to see if we can use the rules of inference and say, does it work? Does it follow? Given this conclusion, do these premises follow? Okay, so step 2 is starting by the conclusion with the premises. This seems kind of obvious, but you want to look at the premises or the conclusion and go, all right, I want to get here given these guys. So this is kind of obvious, okay, but this is important because what are we even doing, okay? Say them out loud. If you get stuck, those P's, Q's, R's, and everything get kind of confusing. So sometimes it helps to say things out loud, especially if you're auditory. Know the rules of inference. Make sure you copy it down correctly if you have a sheet, okay? So make sure you practice with them, okay? Are these steps you haven't, are there, I can't pronounce, are there steps you haven't used yet? Most of the time, not always, but most of the time, you're going to use every single one of those steps, and maybe more than once. So if there's a line that you haven't used yet, most likely that's the reason why you're stuck, is you haven't used that line yet. And so not always, but most of the time, every single one's going to be used. And this is obviously why this is the last one. Skip and come back. You may be working a different problem, can help jog your memory or see a different tactic. So obviously this one's the last, and maybe skip and come back. Okay, I'm going to set up the first one. Okay, so we have a simple proof. This is number 7 in your logic book. All right, so A conjunction B, and then we have the slash line and showing this is the conclusion here. Therefore, A or B. So if we have A and B, therefore A or B are disjunction. Okay, so how do we work this? Well, we are looking, hopefully you're looking at your sheets and kind of working, well, I can tell you, I like to do this step first. I like to write this right here. I know the last line is going to be that, so yay, but I need to have the reason for that, okay? But we can't write the reason for that one until we get this one. It's probably going to be based off this line, okay? But I can write this. This is what I'm going. I know it's 3 steps because the book told me right now it's 3 steps. All right. So now, how do I get there? Well, I look at my sheet and go, oh, how can I isolate? I want to get A by itself, possibly, or I need something that gets an A or B. So I would look at your rules of inference and go, which one's A or B? Oh, it's addition. I can get A or B from addition. So, but I need to get something by itself. So in order to get A or B, I need to have A all by itself, but I can't just put it there. How can I go to get all A or B to get A all by itself? But I can from this, looking at, let me see here, looking at simplification. If I look at this, simplification says P and Q therefore P. So P and Q, therefore P. So that's going to use line 1, okay? And that's just simply going to be simplification, okay? Next, now I have A, and then I have A or B. So now this is going to be using line 2, and then it's going to be addition. You can use the abbreviations from the book, all right? So there we go. One simple proof, and we just proved it, okay? All right, so this is number 13 in your book, and we have if S then T, S disjunction U, not T, therefore U conjunction not S. All right. So this one, we're looking at this going, okay, well, I like to do this step here. Okay. I know the last line is going to be this. So they gave these blanks here. That's kind of nice. They gave these blanks here, and we know the last line is this. We don't know what the reason is. We have no idea what the reason could be, because it's going to be based off these two here. Well, this is kind of nice. I like sometimes having negation, because with negation I can go, I really only have 2 of my rules of inference that have negation. So looking at this one, hopefully you can see that I've got modus tollens going on here. All right, and so let me see. I've got if P then Q, okay, and then it says not Q, therefore not S. So this is like a soccer match here. I need to get these players on the field, and right now they're not on the field, or they're not by themselves, okay? Not S is not on the field right now, so I got to get not S on the field, and I've got to get U on the field, okay, in order to get these two guys together, okay? Most likely, hopefully you can kind of think maybe backwards. If I look at, let's see, conjunction here, if I look at conjunction, I'm going to guess this last step is going to be conjunction. Okay, that's the only way I can get an and as the last sentence. And the only way that works is if I have this and this by themselves. So, going back to here, I want to get not S, okay, on the field right now. So, if this and this, not T, so therefore not S, that's going to be lines 1 and 3. That's going to be a modus tollens or tollens. I'm not the Latin scholar, you guys are, so if I butcher it, please forgive me. My wife's definitely the Latin person. Alright. Let's see. Next, based off this, we can hopefully see that we want U. We need to get U on the field all by itself. Alright, and if you can see with this, it's going to involve this or here, okay, and U, alright, we've got S or U, alright, let me see here, P, oh, there we are, based off this very next one right here, look at that, ha ha ha, S, or if I look at my disjunctive syllogism, this is P or Q, not P, therefore Q, or in this case, U. So I could write that down. I don't always like to do that, but so this would be P, Q, and then right here you have not P, and therefore U. Okay. Try not to do this in your formal final answer, but if you need to write subscribe, some chicken scratch over the place with different colors and stuff, that's totally fine. Okay. So this is a disjunctive syllogism P if P then, or sorry, not if P, it's P or Q, not P, therefore Q. Okay. So disjunctive syllogism, this involved lines 2 and line 5. Okay, and disjunctive syllogism. Okay, try to line them up a little better. I should have lined them up better. I like it when they're lined up. Kind of angle that way. Okay. Finally, the last line. This is where we wanted to go. We've got this by itself and this by itself. Okay, but in this case, they're in opposite order, and that's fine. That's fine. We're going to start with this, okay, because it comes first. And we can see with conjunction, it goes P by itself, and then Q by itself. I'm going to call this whole thing Q now. Let me pause. erasing my chicken scratch here, I'm going to focus now on these. So I'm just going to call this one now P, and this whole thing is Q. We're ignoring the not, or kind of putting the not with it. Okay, we're going to just call the whole thing Q, kind of like algebra substitution here. We're calling this whole. So P and Q are by itself. So then the rule says with simplification, with conjunction, P and Q. So then this is P and this is Q. Okay? So one final thing though to note is we need to write this as 5, 4. So the 5 comes before the 4 because it needs to go first. It's the U here. So 5, 4. Don't do, even though 4 and 5 and numerically are first, but I'm using line 5 first, and then I'm using line 4. Okay? So please list in the correct order. Okay? 5, 4, and then this is conjunction. Okay? Let's set up one more. Here we go. Got a few minutes left. Alright, so this last one I chose to do from exercise 8, number 5. You did this already. It's about sin, the law. I used A for law and perishing. And the final conclusion is you either perish from the law or you be judged by the law. So anyways, it's a really good one. Read it. Exercise 8, number 5. But I'm looking at the clock and it's just ticking, and I'm going to get grooving. All right. This one's, I chose this one because I don't know how many steps it's going to take. Okay. And this was a valid argument that you did a long time ago. I don't know how many steps it's going to take. So I got to go one at a time. I can't do the cheating where I start here and write it down. I can't do that. So how many steps it's going to take? Well, it takes as many as it takes. All right. But hopefully we're going to start seeing some tricks here. All right. I look at the conclusion and I see P or J. And I don't see anywhere else I can put P or J. See P and J in separate conditionals here. Oh, wait a second. I got P or J in separate conditionals. I got this and then P or J, where P is the second of each of them. Which one might that be? Okay, so a lot going on right here. Hopefully we can see that this is where this comes from. Let me pause. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on this. If I get these two conditionals here together, okay, if I get them two together, my end goal is I want to get QVS. I want to get a QVS here, all right? And how do I do that? My end line is going to be a constructive dilemma, okay? So I'm going to take this conditional and this conditional, all right? And then I want to get this on the board and then finally this on the board, okay? So that's really what I want. I can see that, but problem is I can't just make it up and just say, okay, I've got constructive dilemma here. Okay, how did I combine these two? Well, with conjunction, if I let this whole thing is P, and this whole thing is Q, then I can say P and Q, all right, so lines 1 and 2 with conjunction. Okay. Okay, so again, this is P and this is Q. All right. Next, I want to get this as part of my constructive dilemma, P and Q. So P and then Q. All right, I want to get P and Q. All right. Oops, that's not P and Q. I was like, that's not right. P and R. P and R. Okay. And look at that. I want P and R. P and R. It's hard with all these P's and R's, Q's and stuff. But where do I get A or U? Well, let's look at this. If I have S, if S, then this, and then I have S by itself, look at modus ponens, okay? That's lines 3 and 4, okay? This, and then this by itself, so that's modus ponens. So yay, we now have middle step. So now we have this, we have middle step, so we can now conclude this. Okay, so now, based off this, okay, we can now go PVJ, because we have A or U, we can go P disjunction J, lines 5 and 6, constructive dilemma. Okay, I got all of that from here. Looking at the clock, I've got 10 seconds left, so do this. I'll put on the homework, so may the Lord bless and keep you, and have a wonderful day. All right. Bye.